Yep.
A quorum of 30 is present, and the second half of the annual town meeting will now come to order. Madam Clerk, has the warrant been properly posted as required by the general laws of the town of Granby?
It has.
Select Board Chairman, Mr. Labonte, will now lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sitting on stage tonight is to your right, the Finance Board. Behind me is our town clerk, our town attorney, our new town administrator, and our acting past town administrator, and our select board. On the floor in front is our school committee. And as usual, I will quickly go through the procedures for tonight's town meeting. Please raise your hand if you'd like to discuss a motion. When I recognize you, please stand. Then a mic runner will come to you, and you must state your name and address. You're allowed one question at a time at the mic. So after your comment or question, please give the microphone back to the runner. Do not ask multiple questions or make multiple comments while you have the mic. Direct your discussion and questions to me, and I will direct it to the appropriate person at town meeting. Do not direct a comment or question to a particular member at tonight's meeting. In your handouts tonight, you should have the Finance Committee and Capital Improvement Report, a handout with tonight's motions with a short explanation for each motion, the 2025 annual report, the guide to Granby town meeting procedure, and an amendment worksheet in the case you'd like to amend the motion. Oh, you also have a school budget handout for 2026. If you are planning to make an amendment on the floor, you must have that amendment in writing and ready to hand to me before offering the amendment to the meeting. And non-residents and non-voters must sit in the appropriate area in the back of the gym. I would now like to welcome our new town administrator, Ron Aponte, to his first Granby town meeting, as well as Jeff Lawson, our newest select board member. And then last, I would like again to remind everyone that our town uses the emergency notification system, Code Red, to share emergency information and important town updates. Please take a moment to sign up or re-register if you are not receiving updates. There's a Code Red registration link on the Granby Police Department official website, as well as on the front page of the Town of Granby's website. The moderator will now recognize Select Board Chair Mr. Labonte for the annual State of the Town address.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to be here. Your presence is the heart of our local government. We may not always agree, but the willingness of you all to come together and chart our course is what keeps our town moving forward. I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude to fellow select board members for your countless hours of hard work. To Kevin O'Grady, our chief of police, who has been integral to the town staying on course while acting as the interim town administrator. And thank you to our new town administrator, Ron Aponte, for getting up to speed quickly and continuing to grow with us. To the police and fire departments and all of our municipal employees who work tirelessly behind the scenes, keeping our town running smoothly. To the West Street Building Committee for their dedication to the project and continuing to oversee it. We have made strides this year, including the municipal office project, the Veterans Memorial Gazebo, which will be starting soon, which will also be the new home of our Christmas tree lighting. Moving into fiscal year '27, we have a balanced budget. We have a new waste removal contract with USA Waste, which will include waste and recycling barrels, which will be delivered to you in the near future. We will continue to have challenges and strive to work together to come to the best possible solution for the town of Granby. Thank you again for your participation and commitment to our community. Let's have a productive and respectful town meeting. Thank you.
The moderator will now recognize Jen Bartas, the chairperson of the school committee for the school's annual reports. Turn it on. Hello? Okay.
Good evening. I'd like to begin by thanking Chief O'Grady for his leadership and support while acting as the interim town administrator. We appreciate his hard work and collaboration. I would also like to thank the Board of Selectmen and the Finance Committee for their partnership, collaboration, and thoughtful discussions, especially former town administrator Chris Martin for helping us to get to a budget that worked. In addition, I need to thank the rest of the school committee, along with Superintendent Mary Jane Rickson and Director of Finance and Operations Todd Dorman for their tireless efforts during the budget process. Developing a school budget is never easy. Our district continues to face rising costs across nearly every area of our operation, just like many residents are experiencing. It is our responsibility to present a school budget that focuses on shared priorities and essential services. With that responsibility in mind, we work diligently to control costs and reduce spending wherever and whenever possible. We have sought efficiencies, pursued outside funding opportunities, and explored innovative approaches to delivering services. The budget that you see reflects a level service model, meaning it sustains our current programs, staffing, and services. The proposed budget only represents only a 1.29% increase over last year, driven primarily by contractual and fixed costs while maintaining continuity of services for students. We continue to pursue partnerships with neighboring districts to share services and contain costs in areas such as transportation, physical therapy, and other specialized educational services. At the same time, we are actively engaged with our local legislature to help us secure additional funding opportunities. Their support has been instrumental to allow us to expand our programs in computer science, technology, and other emerging fields, ensuring our students are prepared for success in a rapidly changing world while maximizing the value of every dollar we have. In addition, we have leveraged more than $2 million in grants and revolving funds to support educational programming, strengthen curriculum, and expand opportunities for students. These resources have enabled us to enhance learning experiences, invest in student success, and reduce the financial burden on our local taxpayers. Together, these efforts reflect our ongoing commitment to fiscal responsibility and providing the highest quality educational opportunities for our students. While we have worked hard to manage cost, we continue to face significant financial pressures that are largely beyond our control. This year alone, health insurance premiums increased by more than 30%. Special education costs continue to rise. Increases in transportation, fuel prices, heating expenses, and electricity rates, and other essential services that support the daily operation of our school place considerable pressure on the budget. At the same time, we must continue to maintain and modernize our infrastructure. Technology is no longer a supplemental tool in education. It is fundamental to teaching, learning, communication, assessment, and career readiness. Our students are entering a world where technology skills are essential, and it is our responsibility to ensure that they have access to the resources and opportunities needed to prepare them for that future. In addition to the financial challenges, education itself continues to evolve. Schools are regularly tasked with implementing new mandates, such as reporting requirements, compliance measures, and educational initiatives. While these requirements are often intended to improve outcomes for students, they frequently come without the funding necessary to support the implementation. We lovingly call them unfunded mandates. As a result, School districts are often expected to do more with the same resources, or in many cases, fewer resources. In Granby, much of that burden falls on our dedicated staff. Teachers, administrators, support personnel, and central office routinely take on responsibilities beyond their primary roles to ensure that students continue to receive the services, support, and opportunities they so deserve. Their dedication is truly remarkable, and I would like to take a moment to publicly thank them for all of their efforts. To help offset rising costs, we have made difficult decisions, such as deferring maintenance projects, including improvements to the East Meadow Gymnasium and athletic fields. Over the past few years, unforeseen repairs at both schools have taken additional funds away from the classroom. We have postponed the addition of support personnel and delayed improvements to wellness and computer science programming. These are decisions that are not made lightly. Every deferred project and every postponed initiative represents something that would benefit our students. However, they also reflect our commitment to making thoughtful choices, prioritizing needs, and balancing fiscal responsibility with educational excellence. Despite these challenges, there is so much to be proud of in our schools. Our students continue to achieve at high levels. I was recently reminded that the general public doesn't really know about the great things that are happening in our schools. So I'm going to take a brief minute to give you some highlights of the amazing things that our students do. Our East Meadow students here in this building, grades 1 through 6, have been using a grant, the CS Engage grant, to build and create mini robots. They've been given this fantastic STEM opportunity because of a grant we received. 30 high school students are participating in dual enrollment at 4 area community colleges and are taking 29 different classes. There are 37 students taking advanced placement, otherwise known as AP classes. National Honor Society students are doing community service work, and one way they earned hours was by raking leaves for elderly Granby residents. We have students that are heading to the military. One of our high school students was nominated for and won a $1,000 Super Student Scholarship from Gary Rome and Western Mass News. Students are participating in internships at Granby Fire and at East Middle School, and there are students doing work-study programs. For high school athletics, for this academic year, just in this past academic year, 3 Western Mass titles: girls varsity soccer, girls varsity basketball, and boys varsity volleyball. Many of our teams also participated in the state tournament and had some really deep runs. Girls soccer made it to the Final Four game, and softball, for the first time in program history, made it to the quarterfinals. Our kids are getting into excellent schools, colleges, and universities, and many are receiving academic and merit-based scholarships, a true testament to the work that is being done here. Our staff remains deeply committed to student success. Our district continues to provide meaningful opportunities that prepare students for life beyond graduation. This budget reflects those priorities. It is a budget that recognizes financial realities while remaining focused on our core mission, providing every student with a high-quality education and the opportunity to reach their full potential. Throughout this budget process, we have worked very hard to balance fiscal responsibility with our commitment to providing students with the opportunities and support they need to succeed. However, it is important to recognize that the challenges facing public education will continue to evolve. Rising costs, changing student needs, and technological advancements and new mandates will remain part of the educational landscape. While a level service budget allows us to maintain the programs and services we provide today, it may not always provide the flexibility needed to address future needs or opportunities. Our responsibility is not only maintaining what we have, but also to ensure our schools continue to adapt, innovate, and prepare students for an ever-changing world. We are grateful for your partnership, your trust, and your continued investment in our schools. Together, we can ensure that our schools remain strong and continue providing the opportunity every student deserves. As I conclude this evening, I want to thank you for your continued support. I believe this budget strikes a responsible balance between fiscal stewardship and the needs of our students. It is a reflection of our values. It represents our investment in the next generation and our commitment to educational excellence, and our belief that strong schools contribute to a strong community. Granby Public Schools are the heartbeat of this community. The things that our students do each and every day give life to our town. Thank you.
The moderator will now recognize Chairman John Libera of the Finance Committee for their annual address.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, the really good news for tonight is not just that we have a balanced budget, but that no override is being requested in order to do that. And if you paid any attention to what's going on in the towns around us, I think that's something we should all be very happy and proud about. And maybe it'll be a very comfortable meeting tonight. So, does that mean that the Finance Committee is happy? No, that's going too far. We are worried about some things, and I'll tell you about them. But the easiest way to put this is that perhaps the biggest financial risk facing Granby is complacency. There's no need for panic. Let me give you some examples. First item, we're spending over 80% of our free cash this year on operating expenses. The complacent view, but the town is not spending all of it yet on operating expenses. Another item, the stabilization funds keep getting smaller. Complacent approach, but Granby hasn't spent all the stabilization funds yet, so there's more money there. Item, the budget is a much larger percentage of local receipts, and therefore we're reducing or pre-spending a good portion of next year's free cash. The complacent view, there's still more available. Item, the town is contributing $890,000 over the minimum required for the school budget. The complacent approach, well, there's still a little potential additional resources available. Another item, is all this road work necessary? The complacent approach would be, surely the citizens won't mind driving around holes and bumps. Item, is all this new rolling stock and equipment necessary? Surely more maintenance will avoid the replacements until it doesn't. Item, does the junior senior high school need to be extensively repaired? The complacent approach is, surely the building can be used in its current state for quite a while. Item, does Forge Pond Dam really need to be fixed? The complacent view is no longer possible, and no longer allowed. Granby has gone past the luxury of complacency. The state issued an order, you may not know, the state issued an order on March 17th, 2017, that demanded that Granby fix this disaster waiting to happen. And I believe that finally something is going to be looked at starting this September with a group being put together. Item, the financial resources required to continue to pay for what the town provides now and how the town operates now will make it impossible to continue on this path. Finance Committee recommends that the Select Board put together as soon as possible a special committee of citizens and hired professionals with appropriate skills to determine the services the town wants to provide its citizens, to determine the funds available or obtainable for those services, and the trade-offs necessary to match those two. The complacent view, surely this can wait another year again. Thank you very much.
The moderator will now call on Mr. Labonte to present the motion under Article 21.
Madam Moderator, can you hear me? Madam Moderator, I move the town vote to raise and appropriate $670,879 to operate the municipal solid waste department. And that $110,000 be raised from municipal solid waste, excuse me, receipts, and $560,879 be raised from tax levy.
Can you please read the wages and expenses?
I'm sorry?
Can you break out the wages and expenses?
I'm sorry, wages would be $5,000, expenses $665,879, for a total of $670,879.
Can I have a second? And discussion.
This article dedicates $670,879 for curbside trash pickup USA Waste and Recycling will be the new vendor for solid waste collection and recycling. This figure accounts for the fees in the new contract.
Any other discussion or questions? Go ahead, please stand so they can see you.
Rich Tomaraki, Bachelor Street. Can you tell us how much the increase was over last year?
I believe it was actually a decrease from what we had at Waste Management. Is that correct?
Comparing the two contracts, it is less than Waste Management. It is a little more than last year. It's approximately 20,000 more than it was last year.
So we're paying $20,000 more?
Roughly, yes.
Yeah, roughly. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Fernier on the bleachers.
Joe Fernier, 154 Taylor Street. Will the service remain exactly the same as it is now, alternating recycling weeks between paper and glass, et cetera?
No, it's going to go to a single stream. You'll be recycling all your recyclables every week. You'll be getting a 96-gallon barrel for recyclables and a 64 or 65-gallon for trash. USA Hauling is working on, there will be some information, I think they said later this week they're going to get it to us that we can get out on social media to give you some information. The carts, they call them, are in production now. They should be delivered to the town sometime the week of the 19th, around there, and then there's another company that they have come and distribute them to all the houses.
Any other questions? Mr. Fernier again.
Joe Fernier. If I have more recycling than the size of the container, am I allowed to include that in the recycling, or will there be an issue?
That will be an issue. The carts, this is basically going to be hands-free pickup. They'll have a truck that comes and it's all automated. So if it becomes a weekly issue, then you may have to reach out to USA Hauling and see what they have. All this stuff will be explained in the next week or so as we get information.
Any further questions? In order for the motion to pass under Article 21, it must pass by a majority. All those in favor, please raise your cards. Thank you. All those opposed? The motion passes unanimously. The moderator will now call on Mr. Larson to present the motion under Article 22.
Madam Moderator, I move the town vote to raise and appropriate $337,795 to operate the sewer department. Wages, $11,330. Expenses, $268,665. Debt, $57,800, for a total of $337,795. And that the $337,795 be raised from sewer receipts.
Second, and discussion.
This article dedicates $337,795 to the sewer department for those areas that use the town's community septic system or are part of the system that goes to the regional wastewater treatment facility located in South Hadley.
Any further questions or comments? In order for the motion under Article 22 to pass, it must pass by a majority. All those in favor, please raise your cards. Thank you. All those opposed? The motion passes unanimously. The moderator will now call on Mr. DeRozier to present the motion under Article 23.
I move the town vote to rescind the spending authority in the amount of $75,000 approved per Article 26 of the June 10th, 2024 annual town meeting for the purpose of purchasing a generator for the Pleasant Street pumping station or to take any action in regard thereto.
Second? And discussion?
This article reverses a decision for the town meeting made in 2024 to dedicate $75,000 to the purchase of the generator for the Pleasant Street pumping station. This article takes the money dedicated in 2024 and makes it available for other purposes. Because the money was dedicated for this purpose in 2024, it can't be used for anything else unless we rescind the article.
Any questions or comments? In order for the motion to pass under Article 23, it must pass by a majority. All those in favor, please raise your cards. Thank you. All those opposed? The motion passes unanimously. The moderator will now call on Mr. DeRosiers to present the motion under Article 24.
I move the town vote to raise from the sewer enterprise retained earnings amount $110,000 or greater or lesser amount for the purpose of purchasing a generator for the Pleasant Street pumping station or take any other action in regard thereto.
Second? And discussion.
This article dedicates $110,000 to purchase a new generator for the Pleasant Street pumping station. This generator is used for backup power in case of power failure at the pumping station.
Any questions or comments? Mr. Fernier on the bleachers?
Joe Fernia, 154 Taylor Street. The $35,000 increase in cost, are we getting a better generator, new technology, or inflation?
2 years of inflation, and one of the things when we put the initial estimate together, it was sort of a ballpark estimate. I didn't have hard quotes at the time, and even for this one, you use up all of your contractors' goodwill, asking them to bid things or give you budget numbers before you actually put a bid out. So I inflated the actual hard number that I had for this, to put this number together. Hopefully we can get it done for less than that if we do some of the work ourselves, if we have time.
Any other questions? And go ahead, on the floor over here to the right.
Hi, Brennan Smith, 11 McDonald Ave. This is the first time I've seen the language greater or lesser amount worked into the motion itself. Is there a cap, or are we just going with reasonability because you built in that bit of a hedge there for yourself, as you said? I've just never seen that before, and we're about to authorize it.
At town meeting, usually it gives us a little flexibility unless the numbers change between the time they print this and the time we vote it. But when we vote a number like 110 or whatever the number is, that's the number, that's the max number that we have to deal with.
Brian O'Toole, Town Council. I'm going to assume that the greater or lesser amount that was in the materials there, that was left in by mistake. It was going to have to be a solid number that is appropriated.
Any further questions? In order for this motion to pass, it must pass by a majority. All those in favor, please raise your cards. Thank you. All those opposed? The motion passes unanimously. The moderator will now call on Mr. Bale to present the motion under Article 25.
Madam Moderator, I move the town vote to raise and appropriate $607,678 to operate the ambulance department. Wages, $381,450. Expenses, $116,214. Capital, $18,231. Debt, $91,783 for a total of $678. I don't like numbers. And that $607,678 be raised from ambulance receipts.
Second. And discussion.
So this article pays for the ambulance.
Are there any questions or comments? Mr. Domaraki?
Rich Domraki. First of all, the article should say 607,678 from ambulance receipts to operate the ambulance department. It shouldn't say to raise and appropriate, because that means from taxes. And it's not from taxes.
You want to say on the bottom, it says,
See what you're saying, it's kind of conflicted. And write the motion. Would you like to?
I think the budget here, you're assuming this is coming from the receipts of the ambulance department? Check. Okay. Check, see what. Okay, yeah, that's the case. We'll just do a quick motion to amend.
we're checking.
I don't think these motions are written correctly. This is, he's right, this is taxes, but this is user fees. Something. We read the motions or not?
Oh, yeah, I remember that all that. If they're gonna have to amend it, they anticipate. We have to yesterday agree there's a difference in this.
So we need to make a motion to amend. So, do you have a microphone on your table? No.
That's the question. So, receipts.
Is it taken out of raising appropriate or out of receipts? That's the question.
So, raising.
So it's you, like the raise and appropriate 60% drop every year, and then if you raise the government's receipts, 7%.
So, something here. I can throw something here. There's money that's coming. That might be okay because you look here, you raise and appropriate, and you do it from tax line. Yeah.
Right.
Right there. So, okay.
So you want to explain that, John?
John Libera for the Finance Committee. I think the language is okay. This is the first time we're seeing these votes just like you are. But I think the language is okay that all along in the budget, through the budget process, this was being funded from the ambulance receipts, from the funds, so that raising and appropriating it in the first part of it is then qualified in the very last sentence of it, where it says it's being appropriated from, or being raised from the ambulance receipts. And that's the funding of it. It's not from taxes, it's from the ambulance receipts. So I think it's okay as it stands. Thank you.
Any other questions? Go ahead.
Rich.
Rich, can you stand, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. First of all, it should be part of the article, part of the amendment. It's not part of the amendment when it says it below the line, but I'll agree with you so we can move forward.
And Mr. Randall over here has a question? It's coming.
Thanks, Jim. George Randall, 52 Taylor. I'm going to ask everybody to vote this article through as a unanimous vote. Seems like a lot of money. I've discussed it with our fire chief. I'm satisfied with the answers to my questions. And I have to tell you that as our town gets grayer, that ambulance runs more and more. I can speak from that firsthand, and I'm extremely grateful for the service. So I would make a suggestion to pass this unanimously, and Madam Moderator, I'd call the question.
All right, before I just want to make sure that no one else has a question on this we do have one more question, so I'm going to take it.
Joan Grenier, 25 High Street. Could you just explain the debt line of over 91,000? What's that for?
The new ambulance that just came in, it's spread out over 5 years.
All right, so in order for the motion under Article 25 to pass, it must pass by a majority. All those in favor, please raise your cards. Thank you. All those opposed? The motion passes unanimously.
People think this is taxes. It's not.
The moderator will now present Mr. Libera to present the motion under Article 26, Item 1.
Oh, it'd be easier if you stayed on there, but.
Article 26, I move the town vote to raise, appropriate, or transfer from available funds such sums of money as may be necessary to defray the expense of the town, including debt and interest, for the ensuing year, and to carry out any vote passed under this article. Item 1, School Department. Personal Services, $7,885,077. Expenses, $1,290,380, a total of $9,175,457.
Second. Any questions? Go ahead.
Crystal Dufresne, 11 Taylor Street. So I would like to amend the school's expense budget. So instead of it being $1,290,380, I would like to make the amendment of $1,320,000 and $1,320,380. And the reason why I'm asking for the taxpayers to amend this is because right now at East Meadow, the playground does not have a safety surface. The wood chips are gone. It hasn't been able to be maintained. We don't have the funds to take out of the resources that we're teaching the kids and paying for other services. And it would have significantly decreased the budget and the services that we could provide to the students if we took the $30,000 out of the original budget.
Crystal,
So-
before you continue on, can I first get that in writing?
Yeah, I have it.
All right.
It's ready.
And then I'll do a second, and then you can explain why you want your amendment.
Where's the funding source? That's right. Don't think she has. She'll have to do it on her own, and that's all. That's gonna come forward, that's. Not disclosed. Yeah.
I know.
That's what she's gonna have to read.
Yeah.
Because the motion is right.
I want to read it.
So before I get a second, I'm going to read the actual amendment that she wrote, because it's a little different than what you said. For item 1, delete $1,290,380 and change the expense budget to $1,320,380, and requesting that $30,000.
The additional, yeah.
The additional $30,000 come out of the general stabilization fund to fund the safety surface of the East Meadow Playground. So can I have a second? All right, I need a motion to stop debate on the main article.
So moved.
And now a second for that. All right, so now the floor is open to discuss this amendment, which is a change in a funding source as well as the amount of money being asked. So go ahead, Crystal.
So like I was saying, the East Meadow does not have a safety surface right now, so there's no drop zone. So if a kid falls off the swings, they're going to get seriously injured. There's no padding. That's against DESI regulations. You guys all know that Dufresne's Park got closed down for, God, it was, I think, at least 18 months as we were waiting for a source of funds just to fix that park out, fix the park up, and it was neglected as well. It also didn't have a safety surface and had a lot of broken equipment. So I'm asking for the $30,000, and again, we transferred all of our free cash into the stabilization funds last meeting, even though I said we shouldn't, but we did. So now we have to get that source of funding from the general stabilization fund in order to pay for the safety chips. I don't want to shut the park down. I just want our kids to be able to go out for recess and play and be safe. So that's why I'm asking for the $30,000.
Okay. Are there any further questions or discussion on the amendment? All right, so over here first, Brennan Smith. Yeah.
Oh, just speak.
You want to speak?
Thanks for your memory. Brennan Smith, 11 McDonald Ave. I would just love to hear from the school committee as regards whether this is already baked into that number or not, and if not, had it been part of your budgetary discussions with budget committee, et cetera, so that we can understand what the judgment call was for not including this in the first place.
Go ahead.
Permission for Todd Dorman, Director of Finance and Operations, to speak?
So in order for us to have somebody who doesn't live in town speak, I need to have the permission of town meeting. So all in favor? Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Dorman.
Stand up there.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. We originally did have a line for replacement of the mulch at East Meadow. As the budget development process went, we felt we needed to come in at a level service, so any new additions that we had to our budget were eliminated, including the surface mulch.
Go ahead, Mr. Levin.
This year's budget process involved a lot of work by a lot of people. And as you see, there are 39 articles, 39 separate pieces under this Article 26. Except for the articles which talk about repaying our debts and spending on health insurance, things like that. Every department that's in here has looked very hard at their budget. And I think virtually every department head could stand up here and tell you something which they wish they had for the budget. But everybody at the time looked at the budgets, everybody got together and decided, all right, this is what we can do because we know this is what we need. No point in Granby running out of money faster than it has to, and no point in Granby going through the process once of having the professionals look at what's in the budget and deciding, yeah, I can do that without that this year. Yeah, I can trade that off for something else and let the process work like that. So the Finance Committee is not in favor of making amendments to these budgets at this time, particularly the first one right off the bat, when we've got every other department that can come up. And for example, I think the one that probably stands out most in everybody's minds might be we could ask the fire department what they think. if they could use any additional money for some things. So the Finance Committee would recommend against this. Thank you.
Wait, this is mine. Any further questions? Gentleman in the burgundy shirt. This is yours, right?
So so the question is, we need mulch for the playground.
I'm sorry, what is your name and address?
My name is Daniel Gerstenfeld at 326 Bachelor Street. Apologize. So the issue is that we need mulch for the playground. How much mulch and what's the cost of the mulch?
Can anybody answer that? Wait, no, not yet. Wait, let's answer that first.
I don't have the cubic yard figure with me, but between the mulch and the installation, the labor is coming in between $25,000 and $30,000 is the estimates. Our maintenance department doesn't have the equipment to spread that amount of mulch.
And then we'll have another, okay, go ahead. So you can ask your second question, and then I'll have Mr. Delmaraki.
Second piece is, does the town have a maintenance department that can spread mulch?
We do.
I'm sorry, we couldn't hear your question. You have to put the mic on and speak into it.
Does the town have a maintenance department that can spread mulch?
Yes.
Does anybody want to answer that?
The schools and the town, they each have a maintenance department. So I'm assuming this is just product and not being spread. I'm not sure, though. No, it has to be spread by somebody. Yeah, now you say that we had to do that at Dufresne's, too. It's a specialized process that has to happen. You have to be trained in it.
We don't have the equipment.
John LaBera again from the Finance Committee. I find that a very interesting question, and it's a good, I think, illustration of the kinds of things that go on here. Can the Highway Department, for example, or the Building Maintenance Department do this work? Well, maybe, but that's the same thing as asking of what else would you give up in the Highway Department, or what else would you give up in the Building Maintenance Department in order to spend your resources on this? Well, they've looked at what they want to do. They've already given up a lot of things they want to do in order to do the things that are in their budget. To ask some other department to take on that work is asking them to, once again, cut their budget, then to say, cut something out of their budget in order to fit this in, because it takes money to do it. Thank you.
Rich, do you still have a question?
Rich Delmaraki, Bachelor Street. I'm against this. The town has already given the schools almost $900,000 to meet net school spending. Now, the school committee has already determined that they can't afford to do it. So I would agree with the school committee that it should be, I am opposed to it.
Thank you. And then Ms. Russo, on the bleachers. Right, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Is this on? Tammy Russo, 38 South Street. In regards to this, can the playground be shut down by DESE or school upper echelon? And how liable are we for if a child gets hurt on the playground and we are not to the standard that we're supposed to be? How are we opening ourselves up to liability?
Can anybody answer that? Yeah, school committee? Can the school committee answer that?
I'm not going to speculate.
Ryan O'Toole, Town Attorney. I'm not going to speculate on liability or possibilities. Certainly, there are statutes out there that address this. I'm not. I understand your question. The town does carry liability insurance. The school committee, I believe, also has their own attorney who would be addressing that as well. One of the few departments that has their own counsel. So I understand the question, but I don't think it would be appropriate for me to speculate.
Further questions? Mr. Dudicki?
I will speculate a little bit.
Can you
First
name your,
Judicki, 165 South State.
Yep.
I will speculate a little bit. First year law student, not an attorney yet, but I feel like not having wood chips is an incredible liability for the town. And the only options I can see for the town is either closing it or having the wood chips. So I would recommend, if we want to have these kids have a playground, it would be likely that we would need the wood chips.
And on the bleachers, Mr. Fernia?
Joe Fernie, 154 Taylor Street. I would concur, this is a child safety issue. Yes, school budgets, everything else. Some kid falls, we live in a litigious society. We should find some way to ante up the 30 grand.
Are there any further questions? Crystal, as a comment in the front bleachers, please. Floor.
So this question is for the Finance Committee. Was every other budget in town given a 3% COLA?
So you have to, your question has to revolve around the amendment?
Well, what I'm asking, he brought it up, saying that if we get the wood chips, that it's going to take away from other departments. If you look at the school's budget, we increased by 1.89%, right? That's what the sheet says. Every other department in town is 3% for their budget. So I just want to also point that out as well. We're not a funded budget, we're a level service budget. So the kids are going without. We're just maintaining what we had last year, what was already taken away from the kids last year. We're just maintaining that.
The school, as you know, operates on a completely different set of principles. The state mandates what a minimum amount of spending for them is, and has put out various figures, talk about minimum required spending and so forth. Granby contributes the $890,000 that we've mentioned here that's within this budget, but there's an additional $600,000, which we don't even get to vote on in town, which is also really for part of the school budget, and that's for the retired teachers' health care. So that we're over $1.5 million over minimum required already. But I think the real issue is this. The school department looked at their budget. They considered all of these things. And as you heard, they decided against it. Now, I don't think we have an irresponsible school committee that said this is a safety issue for the kids and we're going to ignore it. I don't think they would have done that. But they decided that it's okay the way it is now and that they'd rather spend the money on something else. And so I just don't see why we're questioning what the school committee did in their deliberations over their budget. They did a fantastic job of being as cautious as they could with what they were asked to work with. Thank you.
Do we have a question over here? Go ahead, Ms. Grenier.
Joan Grenier, 25 High Street. I'm just wondering, is there any way the town could come together on this? Dump some mulch, we get 30, 40 people out there, we spread it. Why is it so specialized?
I can say from experience working with the Chicopee School Department that it is a specialized mulch with strict rules of processing. There is only one plant from here to Maine. It's in New Hampshire. That's the only place we can purchase it. So it does have a high price because it gets delivered from there. So it is costly to do. I don't doubt that Crystal is correct in saying 30,000.
Spreading.
As far as spreading it goes, I'm school maintenance, so we actually do that with the custodians in towns. So there's 4 of us that go out, receive the deliveries at different schools because there are 16 buildings. And then those same 4 maintenance people go and work with the custodians at the schools to spread it.
Mr. Petrus?
Jim Petrus, 280 East State Street, Granby. 2018, the town voted to put this building up. The outside is part of the building. Granby's had a reputation where we don't take care of what we have. Let's not fall into that trap. It needs to be done now, regardless who pays for it. We're one town. Let's get the 30,000. Let's get it done so the playground doesn't get closed, the kids can use it, and the community can use it. It's just a no-brainer. Let's be real about it now. $30,000, I don't care if it comes. We have money in stabilization. Let's just do it. Let's get it done and not belabor this and don't take care of the buildings that we have. Thank you.
So before I take a vote as to adding the $30,000, the amendment, I want to explain to town meeting that to vote the amendment through is a majority vote. If you say yes, you want the amendment, then we're going to go and start talking about the motion as amended. However, because it's coming out of general stabilization funds, when we actually do the voting for the budget, in order to approve that $30,000, it'll be a 2/3 vote. The other components of the budget, the personal services and the expenses, are only a majority. So it's going to be a different vote. Okay? So now, is there a question?
Jennifer Bartos, 97 Porter Street. Just on fundamentals, just so I'm clear, if the motion for the additional 30,000 fails, do we then revert back to the original one for our school, original school budget, or what's the process?
Yes, and I'll explain that.
Sorry.
Yes, I will get to that. I wanted to explain, there's going to be 2 different votes. But before I explain the amendment again, we have a question from the Finance Committee.
My question really is for the town council as to whether or not some of the unspent original proceeds from the loan could be used for this purpose.
What's the question? What's the question? Yeah, say it again.
There's something like $1 million.
Wait, can you type this?
There's something like $1 million of unspent proceeds from the original borrowing for the school. Could any of that money be used for this purpose?
That's a bond premium?
Yeah. No, not the premium.
We borrowed more money than we spent.
Don't we have to?
It's also to get squirrely.
Can you answer that, Mr. Nally?
Yeah.
Don't know the answer. Well, we can't answer that question right now. So, I am going to read the amendment again and then put it to vote. The amendment is delete $1,290,380 of item 1, change the school department expenses budget to $1,320,380, and requesting the additional $30,000 come out of the general stabilization fund to fund the safety surface of the East Meadow Playground. In order for this amendment to pass, it must pass by a majority. So all those in favor, please raise your cards. Thank you. All those opposed? The amendment passes by a majority.
But it doesn't pass. That's okay.
So now we are going to go back for further discussion on the main motion as amended. So now the motion in front of you has an additional $30,000 added to it. Any questions on item 1 as amended? Or comments? Go ahead, please stand.
Diane Percy, 12 Ken Lane. I just would like to say that questioning the budgets of the school committee or any of the other boards or committees in town is what our town meeting is all about.
So before it's vote, would you say 30,000 general stabilization?
Her amendment was to take it from 1,290,000 under expenses, 380, to make it 1,320,380
Right, with 30,000.
with 30,000 expenses being from the general stabilization fund.
So that's make this separate vote, 30,000. Because if it doesn't pass by 2/3, they don't get that budget.
Right.
And that whole thing fails.
Mhm.
The whole 1.2 million fails.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, in order for the item 1, budget to pass, $9,175,457 must pass. Go ahead.
It's $9,205,457.
It's not, because 30,000 of it comes out of general stabilization, so it has to be a separate vote, it has to be bifurcated. Yeah. So before I put this to vote, let me explain one more time. The 1.2 million of expenses is now increased by $30,000. However, if the $30,000 doesn't pass by a 2/3 majority, the whole expenses, the 1.2, whatever that, the 1.3 million will fail, and there will be no expenses in the school's budget. So we will first vote on the 7.885077 and the 1.290380. That has to pass by a majority. And then we'll vote on the 30,000. Is everybody clear on that? No. Can you say it a little better? They're not understanding this piece. Majority on everything that doesn't come out of general stabilization.
Again, everyone, Brian O'Toole, Town Council. I think what has to be understood here is the way that the amendment was presented, which was to put the extra $30,000 into the expense portion of the school's budget. We are now, and from those, the funds where we're getting it from requires a 2/3 vote to come out of stabilization. So those two are somewhat married together. Okay? Is it ideal? I guess that will be up to the voters out there to decide.
Question.
Yes? Microphone.
Yeah, is it possible at this stage to offer an amendment to the budget and offer the amendment in such a way that it takes those $30,000 out and makes it a separate item.
Yep.
So you have to rescind the amendment. Yeah. The amendment's been passed, so then you have to rewrite an amendment that says remove 30,000 from expenses.
Right. But remember how this all goes eventually? Yeah. Because like voting on the one, on the budget.
Well, yeah, but if it,
Basically, because we're having, now we changed the funding schemes, so we have to treat the expenses differently because we have different funding schemes.
Exactly.
Explain that?
hurl up there.
Tried it?
But you only have to get 2/3 on the 30,000 of the expenses, not all the expenses.
Because this doesn't everything.
Because the expenses aren't coming out of general stabilization, only $30,000.
Are we voting on, the amendment is for
The amendment? Amendment what?
amend the expenses?
For $30,000 out of general stabilization, not all of it.
Okay, so does the expenses have to pass as a whole?
It's the way it's phrased now.
No,
But what we're saying is that we amend,
but if he amends it, so it's,
we amend what's on the floor.
go back to expenses as normal, and then say an additional $30,000 to come out of general stabilization, then we're gonna have, it might be clearer. I know what you're doing.
Yeah, it'd be as if it were written out, in the budget, just like it's written out on the motion.
So it's gonna
Except for another $30,000.
be a separate motion,
A
so it
separate
doesn't
line.
contaminate the
Yes.
expenses.
That's,
That's
that's the problem.
Well, no, I'm saying that's the issue that we're having.
Yeah.
Was that solved?
You would, or the other issue is you just do a 2/3 for all the expenses, but that's not really.
We don't want to waste $1,290,000.
So we're gonna make an amendment to rewrite that amendment. I mean,
So amend the main motion now.
oh, amend the main motion as amended. Yeah,
Can we write the motions and we have that?
yeah, so should we take a recess and so we can write this?
Yeah, that makes the most sense.
So I'm going to ask for a recess for 5 minutes, so what we're going to have to do is rewrite the motion as amended to clarify how to clearly vote on this. So if the $30,000 does not pass by a 2/3 majority, the school department doesn't lose all its expenses. So can I have a second? Second. Thank you, and 5-minute recess.
Well, we can just write on this paper.
They have to be read and amended.
So, I guess.
You know.
This thought it was going to be easy.
Right. I had
Yes.
First name basis. That's how they say just that it's coming up in the last minute like this, coming out of left field. It's just happened.
Yeah.
She couldn't get it through the school committee, so she's coming different. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we don't know that she tried to get to the school committee.
They seem to acknowledge the need, but they discount them. So that tells me, I think they knew about it.
Yeah, they
said, they said we can't do it.
She was, knows what she feels, and whether she wants on the school committee or better on her own, I hope.
Yeah. She's passionate. I thought we all were in this. Our expenses so much additional. Right, it was stayed for a town meeting.
But I sort of remember that they've been longer than the ones we've had recently. Of course, there was a time when we didn't break the meeting up into 2 sessions.
Oh. So that, well, that would even get longer then.
Yeah, I mean, you're right away, you're, yeah.
Right.
I think I started at 7 or 8. I had
So again, it's not a game policy they're taking, and then all of a sudden.
But you do have to find ourselves. I just don't want to, if I pay her 2 days ago, I mean, we're going to. We're going to. But she didn't.
Steve doesn't think that we could use the leftover money from maintenance.
That's probably right. But somebody has to.
I don't know what the hell you're supposed to do with it. Build a new school.
Well, I don't know what you're supposed to do with it either. And I tried to look it up in the statutes, and you're kind of limited.
Use ChatGPT. That's what I search. ChatGPT. I start with one of the AI search engines, and then I look at the primary sources.
But I think what I come up with is that money is supposed to be used to reduce the cost of the townspeople from the override.
So,
which would seem to make some sense. But from a practical point of view, if we could find a way that maybe we didn't properly build the playground, maybe somebody could justify spending it. I don't know. On the other hand, the school committee might be able to find 30 grand in their sources of money.
Level funded budget. Level services is.
It's got some increase, yes.
We don't have that.
everything else is ignored. Right, so we have to, so, okay, so.
This year when they came in and asked everybody if they needed some more money, we came up with a way to just get it to them. But at that moment in time, they'd already approved the budget that was $300,000 more. I didn't tell us, didn't tell the finance people. I had told Chris and Kevin. Which means that when they started out and said how much they were short, they were understating their revenue by that same $300,000.
Jimmy, the girl that's standing up there in the black pants, she said the playground's fine.
What fine?
She said, yeah, she has some kids that age.
Does that wear out, in other words? Is that mulchy, rubbery mulch thing?
I don't even know if it's rubber. I think it might be treated, but yeah, I think what happened is he's known to use it so many years. Yeah, decays and it goes down.
I play it on safe. I guess the rules have changed.
Well, you probably play at West Street like I did.
Yeah, West Street, we had jungle gym.
We have merry-go-rounds on.
If you're my age, they didn't have those kind of playgrounds.
Well, we also.
They were still playing like Humboldt Bag and marbles. I got a picture of your mom.
Oh, you do?
Matt is posting pictures on People's History of Granby. Yeah. There's a picture of her and I think Franny Kylie.
Fran Kylie, she was best friend with him.
Yeah, so. Yeah, my dad says too. He's like, she's a good friend of mine.
Oh, yes, yes.
If I can find it, I will send it to you.
Please do.
It's on school committee.
Yeah, no, she loved the school. Yes, that was her life.
Fran was chairman of the school committee and I was chairman of the finance committee.
Is that what it was?
Back around 1980.
Yeah, I
That was mine in high school.
Yeah.
Middle high school. That was more, I don't know what more. And then when I look at those pictures, I used to think Granby High School was about twice the size of what it is now, but I used to think it was so big. And I'm looking around, I'm like, it's not that big.
Schooling has changed quite a bit. Okay.
I'm glad. Although I'm right now working with kids with PTSD who've been hospitalized, so it's an interesting thing.
I thought you were going to have a real estate career.
So,
or are you still?
I didn't really like it, and then so I wasn't pursuing it, and then so my cousins, so I'm sure you know the farm is no problem. So my cousin told her uncle on the other side of the family that I was doing real estate, so he called me up. I had no plans to do it, and I'm like, I don't know how to do it, and I don't have time to do it. I'm working full time. I got this. I'm working on a political campaign, so I called up my mentors, and everything works out. They'll sell them a $500,000 house, and I'll get $3,000 for saying here.
It's a nice referral fee.
Yeah, exactly. It's and they'll actually make out too, because they would get about $2,500 out of each of my first two sales, so they'll get more than that, and I would get more than I would have gotten probably anyways.
Well, they're all little rivulets of income that adds up.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm working right now.
So 2/3 of the
Working in retirement full time.
It's not what you thought it would be, would it?
I didn't think I was going to be working full time.
That's it.
The money was very good. I needed the money. We just think I'll go part time. So it's fine. So I'm technically only a sub, but they got me teaching science.
Oh, yeah, you might as well.
That's how English for 30 years. So. And the kids don't want to do work, and they've all got mental health problems, so you can't yell at them.
No. Is it face to face or online?
No, it's face to face.
I saw that.
It's pretty. It's interesting.
Brave new world, they say.
Yeah, these kids are the ones that they say their schools pay $900,000 for these kids to go to school. I'm not sure I'm worth that much. Look, they want to pay me.
It would be a good idea to kind of start from well, good. Yeah, I'll look forward to that picture. Thank you.
Just so that everyone realizes when it was. Yeah, okay. Like that since you should say first grade. John, I want to make a map and I'm spiking.
I'm not going to anybody.
Don't be blind.
Did I get paid?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, but I would think just because we're here.
I know. I will be reading Article 26, starting Article 26, and with a second. This, and then item 1, and then you read what you want.
Basically, same commercial still saying. For a total. Yes. He's placed at $30,000. He does transfer. So I can't see that. Yeah. Right. But again, grand. Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows?
And I
really seeing it? Sure.
Are you all set? Are you all set?
Everybody keeps checking. Wow.
If you could please start making your way back to your seats.
Okay. This is actually your stuff. This is yours.
No.
This is mine. This is yours. All right, go ahead.
So the moderator will now call on Mr. Libera to present item 1.
Well, actually, we're basically going to start with reading the motion again. Article 26. I move the town vote to raise, appropriate, or transfer from available funds such sums of money as may be necessary to defray the expense of the town, including debt and interest for the ensuing year, and to carry out any vote passed under this article. Item 1, the school department.
Just a minute. You have to, where you're doing a motion to amend.
Okay, now I'm amending the motion that was previously on the floor. This amendment will be the school department, personal services, $7,885,077. Expenses, $1,290,380, for a total of $9,175,457, and an East Meadow mulch replacement for $30,000. Said $30,000 to be transferred from the town general stabilization fund for a grand total of $9,205,457.
Thank you.
So John just read an amendment to item 1 as amended. Can I have a second? Is there any questions on the new item 1 as amended? Okay, great. So in order for item 1 as amended, the school department personal services and expenses for $9,175,457 must first pass by a majority. All those in favor, please raise your cards. Thank you. Anyone opposed? So that passes by a majority, and now we'll be voting on the East Meadow mulch replacement for $30,000, and said $30,000 will be coming out of the general stabilization fund, and for that to pass, it must pass by a 2/3 majority. So all those in favor, please raise your cards. Thank you. All those opposed? The motion passes by a 2/3 majority. So the school budget has now passed. The moderator will now, actually, before I call on John, the rest of the items under the budget will be read and seconded in blocks of 4. You will have an opportunity to discuss any of the items read in that block of 4, and then we will vote on each of those items separately. So the moderator will now call on Mr. Libera to present items 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Thank you. Item 2, same motion, school department transportation, $1,384,176. Item 3, same motion, moderator, salary, $300, expenses, $3,085, a total of $3,385. Item 4, the same motion, selectmen, salary, $11,934,000. Personal services, $291,011. Expenses, $192,950. And capital outlay, $15,000 for a total of $510,895. Item 5, same motion, Finance Committee expenses, $2,215.
Second. Any questions or comments on items 2, 3, 4, or 5? Mr. Del Maracchi? Please stand. Yep.
That helped. Rich Demaraki, Bachelor Street. Could you tell me under 4, under Selectmen, the $192,950, is that legal? Is that all legal?
No.
Expense?
Oh.
No, there's several things. I do not, off the top of my head, know exactly what legal is, but you also have the computer services for the year, and other things fall under that expense as well.
Could you put that microphone to your mouth, please?
That's several different items you're saying.
There's several items, correct.
Okay. What about personal services? What's in that line? $291,011.
That's going to be the staffing, except for the select board themselves. They fall under the salary, but the staff of the selectman's office, town administrator, assistant town administrator, or whatever they decide to hire, and the clerk.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions on any of those items? Jen in the front?
Jennifer Bartos, 97 Porter Street. Just for a point of clarification for myself, it says personal services as opposed to personnel. Is there a reason for the differentiation?
No idea. No. I think it's always been that. It's always been that way, right?
Your service is provided by person.
Jen, I believe that's how it's always been.
Okay, I think it used to say personnel, but they are definitely different meanings, so I'm just curious.
Any further questions or comments? In order for any of those items to pass, each one must pass by a majority. So all those in favor of item 2, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposed? Item 2 passes unanimously. All those in favor of item 3? Thank you. Any opposed? Item 3 passes unanimously. All those in favor of item 4, please raise your cards. Thank you. All those opposed? 4 passes unanimously. And item 5. Thank you. All those opposed? Item 5 passes unanimously. The moderator will now ask Mr. Libera to present items 6, 7, 8, and 9.
Thank you. Item 6, same motion, Town Accountant. Personal services, $41,316. Expenses, $57,800. Total, $99,116. Item 7, same motion, Assessors. Salary, $13,671. Personal services, $52,088. Expenses, $36,961, a total of $102,720. Item 8, same motion, Town Treasurer. Salary, $61,431. Personal services, $22,655. Expenses, $11,800, for a total of $95,886. Item 9, same motion, the Tax Collector. Salary, $60,319. Personal services, $36,313. Expenses, $24,796, for a total of $121,428.
Second, are there any comments or questions on items 6, 7, 8, or 9? Mr. Del Maracchi. Vote.
Thank you.
You can stay seated.
Okay, How many hours a week does the town accountant work? I see personal services, 41,316. I was just curious, how many hours a week does she work?
20 to 25.
Now, is that the same person that has the job that was hired several months ago? Is it the same accountant or is it a
Yes.
different person?
As of right now, yes.
As of now? No, will she be leaving or?
I don't know. You're asking if it's the same person as of a few months ago. Yes, it is.
Okay. So you're saying she works how many hours a week?
20 to 25.
In the office or at home?
I believe most of the time it's in the office.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? In order for item 6 to pass, it must pass by a majority. All those in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? Passes unanimously. For item 7, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposed? Item 7 passes unanimously. All those in favor of item 8? Thank you. Any opposed? Item 8 passes unanimously, and all those in favor of item 9, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposed? Item 9 passes unanimously. The moderator will now call on Mr. Glessman to present items 10, 11, 12, and 13.
Madam Moderator, same motion, Personnel Board, expenses, $500. Item 11, same motion, Town Clerk, salary, $70,828. Personal services, $52,777. Expenses, $3,455. Capital outlay, $6,750, for a total of $133,810. Item 12, same motion. Board of Registrars, personal services, $2,000. Expenses, $42,600. Total, $44,600. Item 13, same motion. Board of Appeals, expense, $2,153.
Second. Any questions or comments on items 10, 11, 12, or 13? All right, for item 10, all in favor, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously. For item 11, please raise your cards. Thank you. All those opposed? And passes unanimously. For item 12, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposed? Item 12 passes unanimously. And then item 13, please raise your cards. Thank you. All those opposed? Item 13 passes unanimously. The moderator will now call on Mr. Glessman to present items 15, 16, 17, and 18. 14, 15, 16, and 17.
Madam Moderator, same motion, Planner Conservation Agent, personal services, $80,000, expenses, $1,900, total, $81,900. Item 15, same motion, Public Buildings, personal services, $254,285, expenses, $846,233, capital outlay, $39,400, total, $1,139,918. Item 16, same motion, Police Department, personal services, $1,477,964, expenses, $87,876, capital outlay, $18,295, total, $1,584,135. Item 17, same motion, Dispatch, personal services, $346,412, expenses, $78,887, for a total of $425,299.
Second. Any questions on items 14, 15, 16, or 17? Mr. Randall, up here on the floor? Mr. Petrus is coming? Okay.
Thanks, Jim. George Randall, 52 Taylor. I don't have a question, but I have a comment. I would like everybody to speak to Chief O'Grady and thank him for the extra service that he's done to the town of Granby. Thanks, Kevin.
Mr. Fernier on the bleachers has a question.
Joe Fernie, 154 Taylor Street. Number 17, dispatch personal services. Of the $346,412, how much of that represents overtime paid to the police that work dispatch?
That's an overtime budget that is specifically, that is shared among the dispatch. Doesn't matter if it's a police officer or a dispatcher. The overtime for this year's budget this year is $55,254. But again, that could be a police officer or a dispatcher. Dispatchers get offered it first.
So is all overtime the same rate, whether it's a dispatcher or a police officer, or are they paid different rates? And how is that determined?
They're paid different rates by their contract.
So who's the contractor? What do you mean by the contractor?
They have a union contract.
Okay.
And the dispatchers earn a certain salary and officers earn a certain salary. And just because they're sitting at a desk, that doesn't mean that the officers work for a dispatch rate. The dispatchers are offered the shift first. If it can't get filled with a dispatcher, then it gets filled with an officer.
Okay, so you're saying both...
Wait a minute, Joe, before you continue on, I got to see if anyone else has a question or a comment,
Okay,
and then I'll get back to you. Does anyone else have a question or comment before I let Mr. Fernier? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, but, so the dispatchers are also part of their own union?
It's all one union for the police officers and the dispatchers.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? So in order for item 14 to pass, it must pass by a majority. All those in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? The motion passes by a majority. For item 15, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposed? Item 15 passes unanimously. Item 16, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposed? Is that any opposed? All right. Item 16 passes unanimously. And for item 17, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposition? Item 17 passes unanimously. The moderator now calls on Mr. Desilette to present the motion under, the items 18, 19, 20, and 21.
Thank you. Item 18, same motion for the fire department, personal services, $799,337. Expenses, $71,945. Capital outlay, $72,512 for a total of $943,794. Item 19, same motion. Inspection services, inspection department, personal services, $109,920. Expenses, $48,063 for a total of $157,983. Item 20, same motion. Preventative inspections, Board of Health, personal services, $14,635. Expenses, $0 for a total of $14,635. Then item 21, same motion, sealer of weights and measures. Expenses, $3,100.
Second. Any questions on item 18, 19, 20, or 21? Mr. Randall? You don't have to stand up, Mr. Randall. A microphone's coming.
No better.
Stand up then.
Thank you, George Randall, 52 Taylor. I think that people at town meetings should know a little bit about your fire chief. I served on the search committee. For the first time in a long time, I think that the town of Granby has gotten a wonderful fire chief that's going to be with the town of Granby for a while. Take the time, introduce yourselves to the man, and hear what he has to say. He is young, he's ambitious. I did speak to him about his budget, and I understand where he's coming from. But finally, he's doing a good job repairing a lot of damage.
Any further questions or comments? In order for the motion item under 18, it must pass by a majority. All those in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously. Item 19, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposed? Were you opposed? No, okay. Item 19 passes unanimously. All those in favor of item 20, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposed? The item passes unanimously, and all those in favor of item 21, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposed? Item 21 passes unanimously. The moderator will now call on Mr. Desilette to present the items 22, 23, 24, and 25.
For item 22, same motion, emergency management, expenses, $11,150. Item 23, same motion, highway department, personal services, $545,994, expenses, $100,310, maintenance of roads, $394,000, capital, 0, for a total of $1,040,304. Item 24, same motion. Snow and ice control, personal services, $90,814, expenses, $60,000, maintenance of roads, $133,000, and capital, $20,000, for a total of $303,814. And item 25, same motion, cemetery, personal services, $36,674, expenses, $5,316, for a total of $41,990.
Second. So, any comments or questions under items 22, 23, 24, or 25? All right, so in order for item 22 to pass, it must be a majority. All those in favor, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposed? The item passes unanimously. All those in favor of item 23, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposed? The item passes unanimously. All those in favor of item 24, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposed? Item 24 passes unanimously, and all those in favor of item 25, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposed? Item 25 passes unanimously. The moderator now call on Ms. Munger to present the motion of the items 26, 27, 28, and 29.
Item 26, same motion, Board of Health salary, $3,531. Personal services, $48,953. Expenses, $25,297, for a total of $77,781. Item 27, same motion, Council on Aging, personal services, $129,037. Expenses, $134,805. $134,805.
She was reading the expense. That the
No, that's the total.
Okay, I'm starting over. Item 27, Council on Aging, Personal Services, $129,037. Expenses, $5,768, for a total of $134,805. Item 28, same motion. Senior Lunch Program, Personal Services, $22,043. Item 29, same motion. Veteran Services, Personal Services, 0. Expenses, $24,000, total $24,000.
Second. Any comments on items 26, 27, 28, or 29? All right, not seeing any, so for item 26, if you are in favor, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposed? Item 26 passes unanimously. For item 27, if you're in favor, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposed? Item 27 passes unanimously. Item 28, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposed? Item 28 passes unanimously. And item 29, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposed? Item 29 passes unanimously. The moderator calls on Ms. Munger to present the motion items 30, 31, 32, and 33.
Item 30, same motion. Public Library, Personal Services, $185,981. Expenses, $76,250. Less grant and aid, $21,499. Net expenses, $54,751, for a total of $240,732. Item 31, same motion. Historical Commission, expenses, $250. Item 32, same motion. Retirement of debt, principal on permanent debt, $633,000. Item 33, same motion. Interest, $379,877.
Second. Any comments or questions on items 30, 31, 32, 33? All right, in order for item 30 to pass, it must pass by a majority. All those in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? Item 30 passes unanimously. For item 31, if you're in favor, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposed? Item 31 passes unanimously. All those in favor of item 32, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposed? Item 32 passes unanimously. And item 33, please raise your cards if you're in favor. Thank you. Any opposed? Item 33 passes unanimously. The moderator will call on Ms. Millette to present items 34 through 37.
Item 34, same motion, casualty and liability insurance, $317,365. Item 35, same motion, county retirement, $1,727,097. Item 36, same motion, workers' compensation, $93,491. Item 37, same motion, unemployment compensation, $12,984.
Second. Any questions or comments on items 34, 35, 36, or 37? Mr. Fernia.
My question's regarding 35, retirement. How much in unfunded retirement obligations does the town have? And does the county, I'm assuming that's separate from the teachers?
That's what I think. He's talking about that.
Okay, well, you can,
Who wants to answer that?
I'll let
Okay,
John
then.
answer it.
Go ahead.
I don't remember the exact figure. The former town council had those figures. It's a lot. I would say upwards of $15 million, maybe a lot more than that, but it's a lot. It's a lot of money. It's so much money that I think every board of selectmen, every council, and every town and city in Massachusetts is expecting that unless the state steps in at some time with at least part of the funding, they're never going to be able to do it. And I don't think it's, it's more money, I think, than we'll realistically be able to raise.
Another question, Mr. Frenia?
Just a comment, there's a group called Truth and Accounting about government obligations. Currently, the state of Massachusetts unfunded obligations exceed $72 billion.
Seeing no further questions, for item 34 to pass, it must pass by a majority. All those in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? Item 34 passes unanimously. For item 35, if you're in favor, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposed? Item 35 passes unanimously. All those in favor of item 36, please raise your cards. Thank you. All those opposed? Item 36 passes unanimously, and then item 37, if you're in favor, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposed? Item 37 passes unanimously. The moderator calls on Ms. Millette to present the items 38 and 39.
I do have a question on this budget total.
Has to change.
Has to.
Oh, because of $30,000. So
I would read the new.
the 24 budget plus $30,000.
Okay. All right.
That can be part of the original one. We don't have to amend it.
No, I know that. I'm going to read the additional, so the new.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. Item 38, same motion, group health life insurance, $3,251,096. Item 39, same motion, reserve fund, $130,000. Total budget, as amended with the $30,000 for playground, is $24,498,884.
Second. Any questions or comments on item 38, 39? All right, in order for item 38 to pass, it must pass by a majority. All those in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? Item 38 passes unanimously. And for item 39, all those in favor, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposed? And item 39 passes unanimously. The moderator will now call on Mr. Labonte to present the motion under Article 27.
Madam Moderator, I move to withdraw Article 27. This is a duplicate. It will be passed over at town meeting.
All right. So there is no moving Article 27. The moderator will now call on Mr. Lawson to present the motion under Article 28.
Madam Moderator, I move the town vote to transfer from the Capital Equipment Needs Stabilization Fund $123,000 for the purpose of reducing the funding from tax levy for the fiscal year 2027 appropriations.
Second. Discussion.
This article transfers $123,000 from the Capital Equipment Needs Stabilization Fund to cover debt services costs associated with purchases approved by the Capital Improvement Committee in prior years.
Any questions or comments? In order for the motion under Article 28 to pass, it must pass by a 2/3 majority. So all those in favor, please raise your card. Point of order? Can you come to the mic?
Steve Nally, 31 Pleasant Street. I'm also the town treasurer. The capital needs equipment is a special stabilization fund, only requires majority, I believe.
I can address that.
Town council address it. Yes.
More changes?
Yes.
Brian O'Toole, Town Council, not necessarily more changes, but as back in, I think it was the acts of 2023 that once again rearranged Chapter 40, Section 5B. The way that it was written isn't particularly well done. And the Department of Local Services, their chief legal counsel, has, when talking about special or specific capitalization, stabilization funds, has come down and essentially ruled that so long as the funds are going for that particular purpose of the specific stabilization fund, you only need a separate majority. Now, the way that this article was written, okay, one could, and I think DLS would take the position that you're coming out of a specific stabilization fund for purposes other, to reduce the tax levy. At least that's how the motion was written. So you're essentially then changing the specificity of that stabilization fund, which would then require the 2/3 majority.
Thank you.
So in order for the motion under Article 28 to pass, it must pass by a 2/3 majority. All those in favor, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposed? The motion under Article 28 passes unanimously. The moderator now calls on Mr. Bale to present the motion under Article 29.
Madam Moderator, I move the town vote to transfer from free cash $1,911,256 for the purpose of reducing the funding from tax levy for fiscal year 2027 appropriations.
Second, and discussion or questions?
Sounds pretty obvious, but this article transfers $1,911,256 from free cash to reduce our tax levy.
Any further questions? This must pass by a majority, so all those in favor, please raise your cards. Thank you. All those opposed? The motion passes unanimously. The moderator will now call on Mr. Bale to present the motion under Article 30.
Madam Moderator, I move the town vote to transfer from account number 24-122-5801-24013 bond premiums to be applied $10,376.67 for the purpose of reducing the funding from the tax levy for the fiscal year 2027 appropriations.
Second, and discussion?
This article transfers $10,376.67 from an account used for bond premiums. When the town borrowed for the East Meadow building project, when the bids came in, there was a bond premium, which is for people as financially illiterate as me, that's basically a profit. Per Department of Revenue regulations, this premium must be amortized over the life of the loan to reduce the amount to be raised by March 1st, 2016 debt exclusion vote.
Are there questions on that? In order, go ahead, Mr. Fernio.
So are we doing this every year? So next year there will be maybe less than 10,000, but it happens until the entire debt is retired?
Yeah, I mean, that's what the amortization is, yeah.
In order for the motion to pass under Article 30, it must pass by a majority. All those in favor? Thank you. Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously. The moderator calls on Mr. Labonte to present the motion under Article 31.
Madam Moderator, I move the town vote to transfer from account number 24-241-5300 24,534. Inspections revolving fund, $67,278 for the purpose of reducing the funding from tax levy for the fiscal year 2027 appropriations.
Second. And discussion.
This article transfers $67,278 from the inspections revolving fund to fund the fiscal year 2027 budget.
Any further questions or comments? In order for this to pass, it must pass by a majority. All those in favor, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously. The moderator now calls on Mr. Lawson to present the motion under Article 32.
Madam Moderator, I move the town vote to assess the amounts raised and appropriated under these articles and warrants on the estates and personal property of the town of Granby.
Second. Any questions or comments?
This article authorizes the town to collect taxes.
And in order for this to pass, it must pass by a majority. All those in favor, please raise your cards. Thank you. Any opposed? The motion passes unanimously. The moderator now call for a motion to dissolve the annual town meeting. And I got a second very quickly. All those in favor, please raise your cards. Thank you. Anybody opposed? Thank you. The meeting is over.